The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. Hello, everyone. I am Sophia Melonē, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. What an honor it is to be before you all for another live stream night as we cover the one, the only, the Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. We have been coming here on the channel night after night, covering the book 10 pages at a time and getting into all of the juices and the gems and the anointed words and the messages that we have been receiving as a result of Dr. Dennis Kimbrough's compilation interviewing all of his insights inside of the Wealth Choice. It's an honor to be before you all for day 23, and I want to welcome you all inside of the room. We're going to have a fun, healthy conversation on this Savings Saturday. We had a great Budget With Me live stream earlier today, this morning, and so if you were able to join into the room, I'm so glad that you were there. If you happen to miss it, you could always feel free to catch the replays. There is a dedicated playlist on the channel for Go Mode, which is all of our working sessions that are held each and every Saturday. So you could always check that out and utilize the replay as your working time if you want to be able to get your budgets done later in the day. But today, this is a continuation of our Wealth Choice conversation. This live stream also has a designated playlist that is assigned to, which is Legacy Wealth is a Choice, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough style. So make sure that when you go over to the channel, that you feel free to listen to the playlist, check the playlist out, share the playlist out, and get people into this juice, into this gems once they order their copy of the Wealth Choice as well. If you're new to the channel, welcome you on in. If you're new to the Clubhouse room, I want to welcome you on in and let you know that there is a link at the top of this Clubhouse room that will take you right on over to our Debt Demolisher TV channel on YouTube, where we are live streaming. So that way, if you want to be able to put a face to a voice, you can do so by clicking the link. And then when you click on the link and come on over to the Debt Demolisher TV's YouTube channel, make sure that you check out a playlist, check out a few videos, and begin to implement the things that you learn on the channel. Before we get into our conversation, I want to go ahead and pop out the chat so that way I can say hello to my people who are here on the live stream room. One of my most absolute favorite things to do is to acknowledge my fam, send my hellos, sing my songs, send my acknowledgments to the people who are in the room. I'm ready to shout out my people. I'm ready to shout out my people. I said that I am ready to shout out my people. And so with that, let me go ahead and make sure that all of my settings are all the way together. All of my volumes are all the way together. Everything is clear so that we can be all the way set up. So we got first in the building, Coach Root. We got first in the building, Coach Root. We got first in the building, Coach Root. Hey, Coach Root. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. Welcome on into this room. So good and so glad to see you back. Coach Root is saying, hello, everyone. Well, hello, Coach Root. So good to see you. And I'm so glad that you slid on back in here. I know you stepped in a little bit earlier on the Budget With Me live stream, letting everybody know, hey, I'm checking in, but I see y'all tonight because it was early on the west side this morning while we were doing our Budget With Me live stream. But I'm so glad that you're here, Coach Root. Shout out to Coach Root. We got Lisa Smiles in the building. You already know Lisa. I just finished lathering up because I just finished lathering up with my nutmeg glow butter, lathering up. Hey, Lisa Smiles, so good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here and you are back because Lisa Smiles was in our budget with me live stream earlier this morning, knocking all of her stuff out, getting all of her budgets together. So I'm so glad to see you in the room. Lisa Smiles is saying, hey, DDTV. Hey, Lisa Smiles. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on in to this room, creator and originator of the Global Butter. We got peaceful love in the building, sliding in with some more flowers and sliding in with some hellos and some hand waves. Hey, peaceful love. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. Let's go. We got Queen Lisa H in the building saying, hi, everyone. Hey, Lisa H. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are back. Let's go, Queen Lisa. We also got Sherry in the building saying good evening, ladies. Ladies, we got Sherry in the building saying good evening, ladies. Ladies, ladies. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Let's go, let's go, let's go, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Instant income, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Hey, let's go. We got Divinity in the room saying hello and happy Saturday, ladies. Hey, Divinity, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I am so glad that you are here. Divinity, I'm super excited because tomorrow we got our call. Hey, I said tomorrow we got our call. Hey, I said tomorrow we got our call. Hey, I said tomorrow we got our call. Let's go, Divinity. You're going to get an email from me after this live stream. You're going to get an email from me after this live stream to make sure that we're all set and we're straight to go by tomorrow. So awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope that you were able to get your form responses in to me, and that way we can be all squared away for tomorrow. So super excited. We got Q Scott in the building saying, hey, 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 Q Scott, hey, 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 Q Scott, let's go, let's go. Hey, Q Scott, hey, 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 Q Scott, let's go, let's go. Q Scott back in the building. Let's go, Q Scott in the room early. So glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. Q Scott coming back and killing it again in the building. We got Peaceful Love, got the piano and the music. Lisa Smile saying new songs. I'm telling y'all, songs just be coming up, creativity just flowing. You know, now I got to make sure that I got to remember all these songs that I'm coming up for y'all. So it's give me space and grace. Give me space and grace. Give me space and grace. I know I just came up with a song for Coach Root. I just came up with a song for, I feel like that was an intro song for Sherry. I don't know where these songs coming from, y'all. My creativity is flowing. It's probably because I just had an amazing, 5.5 hour business meeting that went exceptionally well. And it was awesome. And I'm going to post something on the community page as well, so that you guys can kind of get a gist of what I spent the last 6 hours doing. So it's been great. It's been great. And so I'm feeling kind of hype, y'all. I'm feeling kind of hype. Okay. All right. Coach Root is saying, hey, hey. Lisa H is saying instant income, Sherry. Let's go, Sherry. Hey, Divinity says, I was late this morning. I didn't get out of bed until 5:17 a.m. Was having a problem typing for my secretarial job. It's all right, Divinity. It is all right. But all that matters is you're here. You're here. Let's go. Let's go, Divinity. Sherry says, Lisa H, yes, I receive it. And Divinity says, Sophia, I will finish when I get off the live stream. I will send my form and picture. I'm super excited. And let's go, Divinity. Let's go, Divinity. Hey, super excited. All right, y'all clapping it up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Q Scott says, congratulations for the productive business meeting. Yes, y'all, it was productive. It was productive. I got some work to do, but it was good. It was good. It was good. All right, let's jump into our convo. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? So we're continuing on our readings inside of the Wealth Choice, as we know, and we've been taking the Wealth Choice 10 pages at a time. And so with today's reading, we were assigned to read pages 231 through, is that right? No, we were assigned to read pages 221 through 230, 221 through 230. And doing some reflection around that. So on page 221, we can start our readings there. Some of the things that were covered there. This is continuing on with chapter 6, the road not taken, which is the sixth law to wealth. And I want to start with Lonnie Johnson's kind of story. There were a couple of things that I kind of highlighted, and one of the things that I realized as the theme, not only through these chapters assignments or these page assignments, as well as even in previous chapter readings, is that your idea to wealth can take years to bear fruit. So your seed or your idea to wealth could literally take years to bear fruit. Sometimes when we have an idea, or when we start something, when we create something, we end up throwing in the towel or giving up prior to it reached its season of harvest. But we don't know when that season of harvest is going to come, but I feel like I found a common thread, which we're going to talk about. So let's start with it all began by accident. That's the subsection that I'm reading on page 221, down at the bottom, last paragraph. This is about Lonnie Johnson. He says, for 9 stressful and uncertain years, Lonnie Johnson hawked his water gun to toy makers after countless presentations, not to mention sinking close to $15,000 of his own money into the project. He finally reached a deal with Laramie Corporation. I can't pronounce this. I don't know what that says. Lamari Corporation. So this story is basically the story of the person who created the super soaker. So do y'all remember the water guns, how you put the water in it and then you could spray people, and people will have water fights in the neighborhood and balloon fights and water guns. You get hosed down with a super soaker. Lonnie Johnson created the super soaker, and his idea took 9 years. 9 years. His invention took 9 years for it to be basically bought by someone else. So if we go to page 222, he says that it was called at first the Drencher. So let me keep reading. Lamari's goal was to, and y'all know whatever the corporation is, the goal was to produce 100,000 units per year of what was originally dubbed as the Drencher. But in 1990, despite little advertising, this water gun became an instant hit. I know it was an instant hit because everybody wanted a super soaker. And we would be in the neighborhood and we would be getting sprayed up by other people's super soakers because we showing up ain't had one. Or did we have a super soaker? I wonder if one of my cousins or one of them got it. I don't remember, but I feel like somebody got it. Somebody had one. Somebody in one of the grandkids in my family had one. And we would be running in the yard at grandma's house. My grandma had a big yard, and we'd be running in the yard and running around in the neighborhood. It would be a big neighborhood water fight, all that kind of stuff. You don't get caught because they'll spray you down. But it was renamed the Super Soaker 1 year later. Johnson's invention, this is Lonnie Johnson. So Lonnie Johnson's invention became the #1 toy in the country. Today, the Super Soaker has been tweaked, repackaged with more than 20 different variations and remain a fan favorite. In the years since Lonnie Johnson received his first U.S. patent, and I'm so glad he got that thing patent. I am so glad that he protected his intellectual property and he applied for a patent on the creation of the Super Soaker. So what happened? After he received his first patent, more than 20 million super soakers have been sold, and revenue estimate that the toy range as high as $400 million. $400 million. I'm so glad that he protected his intellectual property and got that super soaker patent. Come on. The next story is about, let me see. The next story is about Manny Jackson, but let me see. Oh, we got Nolan in the building. Nolan is here. Hi, Nolan. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here. I don't speak Spanish, but I see you writing Spanish. All I know is hola, buenos días, ¿cómo te llama? Muchas gracias. That's about all I know. Glad to see you in the room, Nolan. Welcome on into this room. Hope everyone is doing okay. Thank you, Nolan. Divinity says you never knew when you would get sprayed. You never knew when you was going to get sprayed. For sure. You never knew when you was going to get sprayed. Coach Rue says, yes, I love the super soaker. Oh, Lord. Sherry says, yes, me and my brother used to love the super soaker. I had flashbacks after reading that. Yeah. We got Tracy Ann in the building all the way from the West Side. Hey, Tracy Ann, so good to see you. Welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here all the way from Kakalaki. Stand up. Q Scott says, that's why we need a strong belief, discipline, and perseverance for sure. That's right. We do. All right. So the next story was 223, page 223, talking about Manny Jackson. And I wanted to read this piece because he was basically sharing a story about his parents, or was it his mom and grandmother? Yeah, his mom and grandmother. They were basically home cleaners, right? So they were maids, I guess you can say, to the wealthy. And he said that he would accompany his mom and his grandmother as they clean homes throughout mostly white prominent neighborhoods or white wealthy neighborhoods. And he says, for most children my age, this is what Manny Jackson admits, that watching your mother and grandmother scrub floors and clean toilets would have been demoralizing. But I viewed their line of work as a learning experience. He says, when I walked into these palatial homes, I'd go into the libraries and look at the books the wealthy read. He went and looked at the books they were reading. Instead of being mesmerized by the things and the quality furniture and the knickknacks and this, he went to their studies. He went to their libraries. Let me see what y'all reading. Smart kid. He said that he listened as they spoke and interacted with each other. He said, I'd watch my mother proudly discuss her duties and responsibilities. He said that believe it or not, I came out of that a better person. He came out of that a better person. This is where the power of knowledge comes into play, and how we want to always ensure that we're actively seeking knowledge, because there's always room to grow, because people are putting information in books, which is why we got to be okay with picking this stuff up, buying this stuff, and actually reading it so that we can learn something new each and every day. You can never know everything. There's always room to learn something new. And even if you feel like you've learned something before, if you go back and revisit something, you may see something or recognize something or think of something differently, seeing it this time as opposed to before, because now your mind is at a whole nother level. So it's important to always be actively learning. We have to be lifelong learners, which is something that's going to come up, which we're going to talk about soon. So continuing on reading about Manny Jackson, He did very well. Corporate companies, climbed the ranks, made executive leadership. I think the highest he got was like vice president of Honeywell. And you guys know Honeywell, very popular company. But he says that he got involved with the Globetrotters. Y'all know the basketball, the whole Globetrotter thing was big too. He got involved with the Globetrotter things, and he went into some steps to help save the brand. He talked about how he used what he basically learned or what he did in corporate America and applied those concepts to the Globetrotters. So he said the first thing was that he knew that the product had to be reinvented in order for it to become relevant. Here's what I took from this. The product had to be reinvented in order to become relevant. So just because you may have created something for a while, you may have had something in stock for a while, that doesn't mean that it's no longer usable. You can take what you have, reinvent it, repackage it, reframe it, position it so that it can be relevant, attractive to people today. So what I took from that, again, is use what you have in your hands. You don't always have to start from scratch and redo the work, because we want to do what, as I said in this book as well, work smarter and not always harder. Yeah, we got to work harder, but you want to work smarter than you're working harder. And one way for you to be able to work smarter is by using what you already have, leveraging what you already have, repackaging what you already have, taking what you have and forming it into a new light, reinventing it. So that's what I took away from that. The second one is the customers had to be shown that management really cared. So this one is a powerful one as well, because every consumer wants to feel like they are appreciated. Every consumer wants to feel like their voice is heard. Every consumer wants to feel like they are, what is it? They have your undivided attention. You hear them, you're responsive. Every consumer wants to feel that way. It's also a way of looking at feeling cared for. So that's a powerful thing. How are you treating your customers? How are you treating your prospects? 3, everyone within the organization, from the marketing department to the players on the court, had to be accountable. Are you holding everyone on your team accountable, including yourself? You got to be accountable too, even though you are the CEO of your company, even though you are the creator of your work, even if you are an employee for somebody else. You got to be accountable to what you signed up for, because at the end of the day, you signed the offer letter saying that you agree to this offer and you agree to the position that they plan to hire you for, or that they're extending the offer to hire you for. So you have a responsibility, you have a level of accountability in whatever it is that you do. So he's saying that everybody in the organization got to be held accountable, and everybody in your household got to be held accountable, however you need to look at it. That was powerful. I also took from this as well, towards the bottom, he says that the most significant element about the Globetrotters being owned by an African-American man is not just the fact that he's an African-American man, but the fact that Manny Jackson is committed. He's extremely bright, smart. He's hardworking, and he possessed a vision of where they were going, where they're going as a company. And when I was reading through this, it encouraged me. I was reading through these chapters, these pages, and I said, I need to go back and like really reread my entire business plan for my business so that I can remember what vision I had written down back in 2017 when I birthed this company that I didn't even know was something that I was wanted to birth. I created everything from scratch in 2017, but I have not taken another look at my business plan. And this is around the time where the business plan should be revisited, because this is the big business plan, which is normally tweaked and updated every 5 years. I'm going into my 5th year with this company. And so it reminded me to remember the vision that I had outlined in the business plan. I had the reminder of the vision. I had the reminder of my core values. I had the reminder of my mission statement of the company up on my board, my provision board. But I know that there are a lot of details inside of my actual business plan, because my business plan was a good 40 pages. My business plan was like 40 pages. So I'm reminding myself that I need to go back and remember what else is in that plan. What else is in that plan? Because I may get some ideas, or I may see, oh, I may need to tweak some things because it's time to redo that. Anyway, another thing that I took from this piece, and I wrote in the margins, that once is not enough. Sometimes we feel like we just have to do things one time, and that's it. Once is not enough. We have to be willing to continue to revisit, as long as you set your frequency in which you revisit. Another thing, once is not enough, meaning you try one thing and you only do it once and then you let it go. You have to keep doing it. Once is not enough is the prime example of why I do the Budget With Me live streams every other week, because once is not enough. You have to be intentional about looking at your money. You have to be intentional about planning your money so that you can create a system for yourself, because that's all that is. A budget is none other than a money management system. That's it. And like I always say, if you don't like the language, if you don't like the term, change the language. If you don't like the term budget, change the language to something that's more suitable for you. So every other week, we focusing on budgets during our Saturday working sessions. Every other week. And then every other off week, I'm choosing a different topic for us to focus on. Once is not enough for you to do your budgets. What did I say earlier in our live stream today? Planning takes time. It takes time to track, and it takes time to plan. Once is not enough. Q Scott says a little tweak might change the whole game. It might change the whole game, Q Scott. Yes, it will. I believe that. Coach Aru says, yes, it is. Educating yourself continuously. Things are constantly changing. Absolutely, it's constantly changing. Nolan says, yes, we must educate ourselves, change the way we think, and prioritize how we spend. I heard someone say once, wealthy people invest first and spend what's left. You better say it, Nolan. But the average person spends first and invests what's left, if we even invest anything. This thought process changed my life. Nolan. I hope y'all picked up what Nolan just wrote in the chat, because there is so much truth in that. We spend first and save or invest what's left, if any. But the wealthy people do what? They invest, they save first before and then spend whatever's left. That's the same thing how I was sharing how I had to flip my order. I pay God, I pay me, then I pay everybody else. Because before that, my order was I pay God, I pay everybody else, and then whatever I have left over, I have left over, if any. If any. But when you prioritize paying you, taking it off the top, flip your order. Flip your order. On page 225, Manny ended up leaving corporate America because y'all know he went and did the Globetrotters. And there was a question that was asked, is there life after leaving corporate America? And this is what Manny Jackson had to say. Manny Jackson says, within the first 14 months after leaving Honeywell, I made more money than I earned during my entire 25-year corporate career. Did y'all read that the same way that I read that? Manny Jackson said that within the first 14 months after leaving Honeywell, he made more money than he had earned during his entire corporate 25-year career. I tell you. He says both my net worth and, more importantly, my self-worth are at levels well beyond my wildest dreams. How many of us want to be able to say a statement like that? My net worth and my self-worth are far beyond my wildest dreams. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I can't even imagine within 14 months making how much more? Making more than my 16 years? 16 years of earnings? 16 years of earnings, being able to get that within 14 months? That lets me know that we sleep on our gifts. And this is another thing as well that we're going to read. And I thought it was so powerful by Ephraim Taylor, which is coming up. The Youngest CEO is the subsection that I'm reading. At the bottom, I highlighted this piece because I really want us to really take this in and recognize this, that each of us is unique. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough says that I may not possess your talents or special gifts or be able to do what you do, but each of us has the ability to choose our own path as well as our own lifestyle. You have the ability to choose your own lifestyle. So we're getting ready to read, and I'm going to read this all the way through. So I want you to bear with me because I need all of us to hear this fully and really choose which option we would take. Let's read this together. I'm reading from page 226. And this is Ephraim Taylor, youngest Black millionaire. He says, success begins when we simply find that inner spark, that talent, that passion in our lives, and go after it to the exclusive or to the exclusion of all other things. Ephraim Taylor says, you can work harder or you can work smarter. I believe the most difficult task is the work you are forced to do for someone else. There's just something mentally draining about it. Touch and agree. While we should all be grateful for the opportunity to earn a living and support our family, amen, I touch and agree to that. It's difficult to get into the mindset that we're doing it for ourselves, when in reality, we're working for someone else. Working smart really means thinking about the path that you've taken and analyzing if this chosen line of work suits your talents and gifts. So does your current line of work fully suit your talents and your gifts? As you consider this question, picture two roads before you. Call them option 1 and option 2. Option 1, work 40 to 50 years for someone else and do as little as possible in order to keep the boss happy. After all, he or she is the person who pays you and who is buying your time. You're not giving it away, you're selling it. The individual buying your time is purchasing the hours of your life. The individual buying your time is purchasing the hours of your life. That's why you are earning slave wages. Ouch. Ouch. You've sold out to the highest bidder. Along the way, you trade one owner for another. Sometimes they leave you hanging, struggling to find another owner to buy the hours of your life, i.e. pink slip. Hours for dollars. That's all you know. Literally shortening your life by selling off the hours and the days, the months, and the years. Take a couple of weeks vacation each year. Show up every day at 8 and go home around 6. Paint your house on the weekends and try to grow a little savings account so you don't have to search for crumbs when you finally retire. If you retire, that is, and don't have a chest blowout by age 45 or 50. Keep your head down. Don't create too many waves. Don't worry. Be happy. Sometimes the whole deal fakes us out so much we actually feel as if we are in control. The only problem is, at this pace, it takes years and years to reach your goal, and your treasure is floating out to sea more and more with every wave, every minute, every day. How much of your goal, how much of your prize will be there when you finally make it? Who knows? It's more uncertain now than ever because retirement programs are being raided, Social Security is being gutted, and medical costs are rising. Did y'all not hear me on the Budget With Me live stream this morning when I told y'all that a bill from the hospital came to my mama that was invoiced for $97,440? Praise be unto the Lord, we ain't have to pay it, but that was her charges, medical expenses. And very few people even start thinking about retirement until it's too late. When you finally reach your goal decades later, you find just a few shekels stuck in the sand where your treasure was supposed to be, and another beach full of people ahead of you. Broken, wore out, broke people, mostly sitting and wondering what went wrong. For those who chose option 1, life drags on. day after day, paycheck to paycheck, Blue Mondays to TGIF, weekend to weekend, vacation to vacation, finally retirement, then it's gone, game over. Now let's hear option 2. Make a decision to gain all the knowledge you can and keep growing. Make a decision to gain all the knowledge that you can in this moment and keep growing. I think of this option as running on the beach and scooping up a few seashells, new knowledge, new skills without missing a beat. You get tired, you stumble, but you get back up and you keep running. For how long? Sometimes it may seem like forever, but you know you're closer in on the goal a whole lot faster. And when you get there, there's a whole lot more of it to enjoy. Not only that, but you notice the beach isn't crowded. You notice the beach isn't crowded. Very few people are around, and they're all running in the same direction. No one is dragging his or her heels, wasting years in the sand. They know there's a prize up ahead. They know there's a prize up ahead. You get there after a few years, and there's this monstrous pile of gold, more than you can spend, plenty to enjoy and create a lifestyle and a future for your family, and plenty to share with your church and charities. Just past the pile of gold is another beach, and there aren't many people either. They're all full of life, enjoying every moment. That's the rest of your life, and you're still young, so you'll be able to really enjoy it to the max too. You've won your race. You've claimed your prize, and you own your life. You own your minutes and hours, and you pay yourself royally. When it is all said and done, the only way to gain your freedom is to buy it. The only way to gain your freedom is to buy it. You can't lease it, nor can you wish for it. You buy it, and then you own it. You enjoy your health, you enjoy your family, you enjoy your financial security. Think about that goal of owning your own life and doing what you love. Amen. From just barely getting by to living life on your own terms, now you can begin to take responsibility for your success and failure and own your life. Which option will you choose? Which option will you choose? I don't know about y'all, but I choose number 2. I choose option number 2. And there were so many nuggets inside of option number 2, which leads me to the title of this live stream, which is Enduring the Years for Lasting Wealth. Enduring the years for lasting wealth. Because what does Ephraim Tyler say on page 227? He says, it may seem like forever, but you know that you're getting closer to the goal. It may seem like forever. And what do we read about a lot of the stories in the book so far? a lot of their successes didn't hit until after years of putting in the work, years of moving forward in that direction, years of stumbling but getting back up, years of not dragging their feet, years of continuing to be persistent, years of them being dedicated, like, I know that this is it, years of knowing like you know. 7 years, 9 years, 10 years. That's how long it took them. So my question to you is, are you willing to put in the work for 7 years? Are you willing to put in the work for 9 years? Are you willing to put in the work for 10 years? Are you willing to endure the years to get to your lasting wealth? If you choose option 2, then you got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to do that. We can't be so quick to throw in the towel. Instead of throwing in the towel, think about what can be tweaked. Q Scott said that. Tweak a little bit, probably change the whole game. Pivot. A tweak is similar to a pivot. I wrote in the margins, I choose to. Y'all probably can't see that, but I wrote in the margins, I choose to. So that was a powerful message. And this is probably something that I want to make sure that I reread to myself every now and then to remind me to stay in the fight, to remind me to stay persistent, to remind me to really reflect on the vision that I chose, to remind me to choose to buy my own time, to remind me to put in the work to buy my freedom. He also says that if you hold any hope in joining this elite club, which is the elite, the financial elite, the millionaires club, then we have to learn to meet hard times with harder will. We got to learn to meet hard times with harder will. And that's equivalent to perseverance. That's equivalent to continuing to push through regardless. That's equivalent to allowing yourself to pause, but making sure that you get right back up. Dr. Shirley Baker was one of the first Black women to graduate from Howard University School of Dentistry. She had a 30-year dental practice, filling teeth. To her, it was no longer enough. She chose to pivot when it came to her dreams. And what Dr. Bailey says is that when it comes to chasing your dreams, each of us must begin somewhere. And there's no better time than where you are starting off at zero. There's no better time than when you're starting off at zero. She says that you learn, you persist, and you adapt. The quote of the morning came from page 228, which says, you must make a conscious decision that when your moment arrives, that you're going to embrace it and you're going to pursue this course of action. When your moment arrives, you got to be ready. When your moment arrives, you better pursue it. When your moment arrives, you better say yes. When your moment arrives, you better shoot forward and go right after the opportunity. And bring your A game when you step up to the plate. Bring your A game when you step up to that base. Be ready. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough says further down that the power is in your hands and you must act. He says that acting is about, he said that this law is as much about doing as it is about thinking and believing. And we talked about this before. You got to do more than just think and believe it. You got to act. So he says it's about seizing opportunity. It's about charting your course. It's about courage. It's about executing ideas. It's about refusing to take no for an answer. It's about creating your own luck. And it's about being true to the dream that beats in your heart. That beats in your heart. He also says at the top of page 229 that taking action makes all the difference in the world. Taking action makes all the difference in the world. And so it does. So it does. You got to do the work. You got to stay in the work. You got to take action. You got to move. You got to apply. You got to implement. You got to execute. Action makes all the difference in the world. So I'm finna call some folks out. I'm finna call you out. If you know that you have a strong presence when you deliver on camera, I'm asking you to show up on camera. I'm asking you to deliver your gift so that the world can hear your gifting. I'm asking you to take action on what you started a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Showing up not only for yourself, but those who need to hear your voice. Those who need to hear your voice. You know who you are. I love you. Page 229, subtitle, The Road Taken. What if you were somebody and no one knew it? What if you were somebody and no one knew it? Let's read a little bit further down on this. He says that it's simply a matter of finding yourself and building on what you find. That's the key to the road not taken. That's the key to really stepping into your space of influence. Finding yourself and building on what you find. Finding yourself and building on what you find. He says it is being able to place yourself in a state of mind that makes the creation of wealth possible. You have to put yourself in a mental state of mind that makes wealth creation possible. Because remember, you have the most brilliant mind in the universe because we come from the ultimate creator. So if we come from the ultimate creator, then that means you have the ability and the capability to create in some way, form, or fashion. And so with that, you are a wealth creator. Call yourself that, own it. You are a wealth creator. Put yourself in that headspace, in that mind space to believe that for yourself. Now I want to talk about Leah Brown. Did y'all read the story about Leah Brown? This is powerful. Leah Brown's story, which was where that piece of the quote came from, but she was an engineer. She started this company and she was doing really well in her career. And she was really close to her uncle, who ended up passing away really, really quickly as a result of having a very sad disease, which we all kind of know about. And there was something that she was so angry about in the clinical field in terms of them not mixing the right different substances to help her uncle stay alive longer. So she ended up creating a consulting company to be a solution for clinical, whatever you call it, like clinical biological formulas and stuff like that, which was not her field. Totally not her field. But it was a passion, it was a desire, it was a burning in her heart that she wanted to do something about the death of her uncle, who she loved so dearly. And she felt like the medical industry didn't do enough. They didn't do enough to keep him alive longer. So she climbed the ranks really big in that, but I wanted to read the subsection about why get a job. And she says, I wanted the journey. She says, I wanted the journey. I'm going to read from where it starts from her quoting. She says that the entire idea of clinical trials was intriguing, she admits, but if you lack the funding to keep things going, it could be a problem. So the big picture became, I had this great business idea, but how am I going to finance it? Leah Brown recognized that if she were going to enter this arena, she would need capable and talented people to help guide her through the process. Let me pause right here. This is why it's so important to seek counsel. It's so important to hire what you need help in, because everything you may not be able to get for free. You have to be willing to hire to get the best. Hire to get the best. She said that meant hiring high quality clinicians right out of the gate, right off the bat. She says the researchers who I initially brought on really cared and had a passion for the A10 mission. That was the name of her company. She said that some stayed and others moved on. She said those that remained did so through all of the highs and the lows. Those were the ride or dies. And without any startup, there were some really difficult times. This is what Leah Brown is saying. She said that there were defining moments when we had nothing, zero revenues for the first 18 months, zero revenues for the first 18 months. But Brown kept plugging away. Her company A10 eventually landed its first clinical study, with a global biotechnology company that produces critical care treatments for the life-threatening disorders in the field of immunology and neurology. She says that A10, which is her company, sought a major pharmaceutical company to add to its fold. And this was something that Brown calls as a true sign that the company had arrived. Before long, the startup landed Merck & Co. and GlaxoSmithKline, two internationally recognized conglomerates that placed her enterprise on the clinical research A-list. All you need is a strong partner. All you need is one good connect. That's all you need. And they'll put you at the top of the list, the top of the charts. Take you right from the bottom all the way to the top. Starting from the bottom, now we're here. Hey, starting from the bottom. But it wasn't overnight. It wasn't overnight. Let's continue on. It was only a matter of time before other Fortune 500 pharmaceutical companies jumped on board In the face of it all, Brown maintains that success means never having to say you're afraid. Fear nothing, because fear can cripple you and stop you in your tracks. We know that that's true. Leah Brown says that 7 years ago, I knew where I was going to take this company. Leah knew 7 years ago. She said 7 years ago, I knew where I was going to take this company, and I used all the knowledge and best practices that were at my disposal. She used all of the knowledge and best practices that were at her disposal. She continues to say that, was it daunting? Yes. She constantly questioned herself. And she said, as soon as I solved one problem, I'd ask, did I do anything right? But here's the powerful piece. There was always probing, and there was always self-evaluations. There was always probing, asking those probing questions, trying to get clear, trying to understand, trying to rationalize, and self-evaluating everything that you do in your business, everything that you do in your brand, everything that you do in your products. Evaluate it. She says, but if you're not asking the tough questions, you are not doing the right thing. She says, through it all, I knew that we were going to make a difference. Leah said that through it all, she knew that her company was going to make a difference. She said, when you have an opportunity to do something special, to impact others, and to touch pretty much everyone in the world, why wouldn't you sign up for that? Why get a job? I wanted the journey. Leah Brown. And that takes us to 131, concluding our readings for today. Powerful stuff, family. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. And I just want to remind you that we have to be willing to endure this journey. Whatever your idea to wealth is, you got to be willing to endure the journey, especially if you know, like you know, like you know, like you know, and you know where you're taking your idea. What's the future of it? What's the innovation that it leads to? What is your vision for it? We got to hold on to that, because we have to endure the years for our long-lasting wealth. Amen. Amen. Okay. Let me catch up on some of these, and then we're going to close out. Y'all were lighting it up in the comments. Acacia's in the building saying, greetings, DDTV family. Just got a signal. We went to Buttermilk Falls. Woo! I hope you had some fun, Acacia. Welcome, welcome, welcome on into this room. I'm so glad that you are here. Hey, Acacia. I go, Acacia. Hey, Acacia. I go, Acacia. Let's go, 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 let's go. Hey, Acacia. I go, Acacia. Let's go, Acacia. In the building. Nolan says, hungry, bad. He's also saying, how are you going to talk about Buttermilk Falls? Got me thinking about pancakes at IHOP. Peaceful Love is saying, hey, Queen Acacia. Yes, Queen. So good to see you. Queen Lisa saying, hey, Acacia, you are upstate. Let's go. Sherry is saying, hey, Acacia. Everybody giving Acacia some love. Welcome her on into this room. Nolan says, Debt Demolisher, you lit staring from the bottom. Oh, you lit starting from the bottom. Now we here. Hey, starting from the bottom. Now the whole team up in here. That's right. We ain't leaving nobody behind. That's right, Nolan. We ain't leaving nobody behind. Let's go. Q Scott says it takes a special type of perseverance and resilience to keep going when you don't see the revenue for that long. Listen. Listen, I was contemplating throwing in the towel, y'all. I was contemplating throwing in the towel, but look, Lord said, don't dish it just yet. Don't dish it just yet. I'm gonna need you to keep going. I'm gonna need you to keep going. Get a little bit more strategic, honey. Don't let it go just yet. All right, that's good. Lisa Smile said, being a head usher tonight. What y'all talking about? Being a head usher. Indeed, you are. Q Sky said, and indeed you are. Lisa Smile says, I'm trying filling for Acacia. What are y'all talking about? Could we trying to do the Lord's work? Oh my gosh, Lisa Smiles is cutting up. Cutting up. Oh, Coach Aru says, yes, hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Coach Aru. Q Sky says, Lisa Smiles, I love and laugh so hard when you put these lives, yours and your DDTVs in the same mind as church service. The metaphors tickle me. Hold on, what did I miss? Lisa Smiles has probably been cutting up. She said, that was an altar call. What did I say? That was an altar call. I don't even remember what I said. Lisa Smile said that was an altar call. Coach Root says, I receive it. Q Sky says, right, because if you never take action, chances are that nothing will ever change. Amen. Lisa Smile says she got it down pat. Stay ready. Lisa Smile says, Sophia preaching, she looked like she opened the Bible. Go ahead, financial pastor. Y'all are cutting up. Y'all are cutting up. Okay, y'all. All right. Let's go. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and close out for the day. Acacia said that she was hiking with waterfalls. Ooh, at the scenery in Kentucky. Oh, wow. That sounds awesome. Did you take some pictures? I'm pretty sure you took some pictures. Awesome. That's so great. I just Googled it. It's a state park thinking it was food. Oh, a little one-on-one with my son today. Yes. Shout out to Bryson. Shout out to Bryson, Acacia's baby boy, spending some son and mother and son time together, which I know is so special and so needed. So thank you for having your mommy time with your baby, Acacia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and close out because I have some administrative things I got to do. I have emails to check. I have emails to send out. I got invoices to send out. So I got a lot of work to do. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for tonight while I will clear up, finish up my administrative stuff since I spent most of my day in my business meeting. So I didn't get to really do a lot of my admin stuff today. So I'm getting ready to do that. Lisa Smiles, if you're going live, let me know. So that way I can listen to you while I'm doing my work. If you're going to go live, let us know when you're going live. If you're going live, let us know when you're going live, Lisa Smiles. So that way I can plan accordingly and I can turn you on while I'm doing my work. All right. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to remind you that your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. You already know what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's what? Oh, we're not done. I got to give y'all a reading assignment for tomorrow. Reading assignment for tomorrow, we're going to continue reading pages 231 all the way down to 240. So if you have the audio book, you're going to be starting at the subsection, finally, here's the secret, the sixth law of wealth. That's where you're going to be starting. And then you're going to go all the way up to where it says new rules of money, fire your boss. Stop there. That means don't listen to that part. So when you hear the subsection that says new rules of money, fire your boss, turn off your audio. Pause your audiobook. Pause your audiobook because that's going to be for the following day. So for those of us who have the book, we're going to read up to from 231 to 240, and then we'll be back here tomorrow for our live stream live. So again, we're going to recap that real quick. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I want to remind you that your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. You already know what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's what? Get to work. All right. Bye. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone.